Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Now, in this video, I'm going to discuss the rumor that Courteney Cox is going to return as Gale Weathers in Scream 7. Now, I decided to share this with you because of what I believe is a high probability that she will be back, and because the rumor itself is from a source that has been reliable up to this point for the most part. So, let's dive in to the idea of Gale Weathers being back in Scream 7 and how that could impact the storyline of the movie. Let's go!
Hi everyone, this is Mathieu Kadar, and I'm the ghost face in the opening scene in Scream 6. And yes, I'm the one who kills Samara Weaving, and you're watching Craven Something Scary.
So I first saw this posted by Critical Overlord on his X account, and the original source which he quotes in the post is Daniel Richtman. Now he's an entertainment writer, influencer, and leaker who has been, as I mentioned earlier, very reliable in his previous posts. However, since this is not an official announcement, take it with a grain of salt. This is not official, guys. This still is a rumor. However, having said that, though, let's talk about how if Courteney does indeed return, and I put this at like probably 95% or more likely to happen. I always felt that Courteney coming back was probably the most likely of anyone to return. So I don't think it's a big, huge shock if we get the official announcement soon. But assuming that she does, I have really two fundamental questions for the character of Gale Weathers in Scream 7 that I want to talk about. Now, question number one is, which version of Gale Weathers will we be getting in the movie? Are we getting that tame, glorified cameo, if you will, version of Gale that we saw in Scream 5 and 6? Or will we be getting the vintage Gale Weathers that we saw in the first 4 Wes Craven Scream films, when she was tenacious and she was fiery in her personality, right? Remember how determined she was to get the facts, and she would go rogue if necessary because she was determined. Randy in Scream 2 even called her an opportunist. I mean, she was hungry. She wanted to rise up in the news world, and that was her ambition. And all that ambition was just gone in Scream 5 and 6. So what I'm wanting to see is the Gale Weathers of old. If she does indeed return, I want to see Guy Busick write her the way she used to be, not the way she's been lately. I want to see her come out fiery, on, just nose to the grindstone, trying to solve the Ghostface attacks. Whatever's going on, she's like all over it. And it's just, like that old version of Gale, in the first 4 films, was such a great character, and Courteney did an amazing job playing that version of a Gale Weathers. And I never get tired of seeing her performance in those movies. I think they're great. They add so much to the story, and it just really shows a side of her that I miss and I want to see again. And I desperately missed it in Scream 5 and 6. So hopefully she's written that way again. And that would be an amazing thing to see, guys. The old Gale Weathers back on the screen. I would be thrilled. We'll have to, we're going to have to wait and see because, again, Guy Busick was one of the writers of the last two movies who contributed to writing her the way that she was. So we'll see. Hopefully, Kevin Williamson's influence on this film will have some influence on her character as well. So that's my first question. Now, my second question is, what will the relationship between Gale and Sidney be like? Because there's always been a level of tension between Gale and Sidney, which makes, it makes total sense, right? Because Gale wrote the original book about Maureen's death. It spawned the entire Stab film franchise, etc., etc. So there's always been this tension. Initially, like in Scream 1, it wasn't even tension. It was downright anger, and rightfully so, I think, from Sidney's perspective at the time. But in the sequels, and even at the end of 1, we begin to see Gale and Sidney, saving each other's lives, and that brings new dynamics between them. But I still don't think they're, going out for dinner together anytime soon, or going over to each other's house for game night. I just don't see that. Even after all that's happened, there's definitely, I think, a more of a respect, especially for Sidney looking at Gale after everything. But at the same time, it doesn't undo what Gale did going back to Scream 1. So there's a tension there. Then there always has been. But there's also this other dynamic, and we saw it in 5, right? When Dewey died and she came to the hospital, and she looks at Gale and she's like, Gale, she just says Gale, and they hug and stuff. So there's definitely been some bridges that have been mended. But I want to know, how will their relationship dynamic be in 7? Will Gale, be present merely as a reporter in the past, or what I'm hoping for is that we see them having, again, mended those bridges and pain from the previous years, and I really want to see them ready to work together to solve the new Ghostface attacks that impact Sidney or her family. I would love to see that. Them officially kind of turn that corner, and now they are really 100%, again, not best friends by any means, but they understand what needs to be done. They need to get this Ghostface or Ghostfaces caught, and so they're going to work together, and as teammates, or as a team, to try to get that done. That's what I'm hoping for. So I want to see the old Gale, the fiery Gale, and I want to see Gale and Sidney's relationship show a different perspective than we've seen. And in this case, them really kind of making a full circle thing, and they're back together, and they're really trying to work to figure out what's going on. So those are the two questions I have, and my hopeful results. But we'll have to wait and see. And I want to know now, what do you think about the likelihood of Courteney Cox returning as Gale Weathers in Scream 7? I want to know what you're thinking, any ideas you have, and any theories that you may have for Scream 7 involving Gale. So start leaving your comments below right now so we can discuss it together. Remember, if you don't leave a comment, I don't know what you're thinking. I don't know what your theory is. We can't talk about it. So I love to read your ideas, so please leave the comments below. Well, that's going to be it for this update, but I'll be back soon with more Scream 7 and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and until next time, this is Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thanks for watching.